This video is fair use. It is transformative and is protected under Section 107 of Copyright Act 1976. Allows me for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, reporting, teaching, and more.
Oh, Betty, I want to say I just can't believe you, but I can believe you. These are things you've done before, and I'm not surprised. Let's see what Betty's been up to since she's been in Texas. Betty's been on the scene in Texas claiming to be looking for little Audrii Cunningham. Now, is she looking, or is she looking for that money shot? Which is actually very disturbing, and we'll see that in a minute here. All right, let's get started. So the first video that we're gonna go over is Coroner Requested Audrii Cunningham. It's a little clickbait-ish, just so everyone knows, it's false information. I recorded this on February 17th, and it was 8 hours old at the time. And as I sit here today, it is now February 20th, and Audrii still has not been found. Yet, Betty posts this. By now you've probably already heard about this, but I did want to document it so that we have it here on this channel. And yeah, this is outrageous, disgusting, and Betty, you should be ashamed of yourself. It took you days to remove this video. Days! And I have no doubt that you knew it was misinformation. Even though law enforcement didn't tell you that they had found Audrii, you couldn't remove that video, not until you heard it with your own ears from law enforcement at the press conference that they were still looking for her. You were just hoping, banking on that coroner truck. Oh, Betty, you are not here for the children. You are here for money, for fame, for notoriety, for clout, and I'm sure a multitude of other things that go on in that little brain of yours. So we're gonna watch this, and then we're gonna watch what bad behavior Betty had just today. And I hope you enjoyed reading all of those lovely comments that were left for Betty on this short video that she made. And I noticed a lot of those were paying members. Well, they could be gifted members, but members nonetheless. Your members aren't too happy, Betty.
Something that we kind of expected to hear shortly. As you can see, the wind is brutal, and I'm glad.
Good old Betty likes to complain about the weather a lot. I think she thinks it helps generate more revenue for her.
Shortly, as you can see, the wind is brutal, and I'm glad that if this is true, I'm glad this.
What do you mean, if it's true? You basically said it was true in your text that you added to the screen in your other video. And just another reminder, it is not true. This is fake news. Fake news at the time of reporting. Fake news from a fake news reporter.
That if this is true, I'm glad this case is moving in the right direction. We did learn that Stephen McDougal is behind bars today. So,
yes, he was put behind bars on an unrelated charge at the time, I assume, so that they could hold him and question him.
You know, it's not a good situation, but it's not the worst situation for the type of situation it is. So,
what? What the heck does that even mean? So she's lying by telling people that Audrii had been found, and now she's saying it is not the worst type of situation. What? I don't understand what she means by that. Kind of strange. Actually kind of reminds me of her trafficking comment that she made that one time. Yeah, that was also ridiculous. Betty, you are ridiculous. So I guess I refer to that one as the coroner video, where Betty implies that the coroner is there for the specific reason that she has been found, but she hasn't. And now we're going to take a look at the short where she basically says it. So let's take a look at that. It's a very short video. And again, 100% false information at the time that this video was made. Audrii was not found, had not been found at the time. I have no doubt that Betty tried to do this so that she could be the first to put it out, get her channel numbers back up high and flying and go viral. I think she maybe saw the coroner's truck or heard about it and hope for the best. And I don't mean best in that way. I mean hope for the best for her channel and her going viral. And she just put it out there assuming. And again, it wasn't true. False information. She's greedy. And I think she did this to grow her channel. And that right there, folks, that tells us that Betty is not there for the right reasons and willing to take a gamble with a missing child.
There is water, there is a dam, and behind the dam is a reservoir.
Yeah, Betty, you are gross and disturbing. And the fact that Audrii had not yet been found at this time, yet you're putting it out there like just, banking on it, it's pretty sick. And there's a lot more disgusting things that you've done that we will also be reviewing in this video. So far, it's looking like it's going to be about 30 minutes long. And if I can find that many nasty, disgusting things that you've done in a missing child's case, well, that says a lot, doesn't it? I don't even want to be showing this video right now. I would so much rather us be looking at her beautiful face and remembering her. But then I think we have to call these people out. This terrible, bad behavior needs to be documented. Even when it feels like we're getting nowhere, keep going.
It's like they're telling something right there. I just seen them get it down, so something must be. This is weird.
The only thing weird is you. And I have a lot more choice words that I would rather say besides weird. I think what you did was disgusting. And again, I've said it already. The only reason you did it is because you wanted to be first. You wanted to be the one to say, I broke the story. And that's because that's all you care about. I have no doubt that you only care about growing your channel. You don't care about these children at all, and you've shown us that time and time and time again via your actions. You're complaining. You don't care. So we have a couple more videos coming up, and I'd like you to just listen for the manipulation and see if you can pick it out, and I will also let you know, but let's just keep watching here. Okay, so here we have live from the search area, Audrii Cunningham. And of course, actually, this time it's on her main channel, which I thought she wasn't supposed to be using. But anyway, I have no idea. We can check with Burnt Toast for that one. I know she was talking about it the other night and how it all works. So if you haven't checked that out, go check it out. And let's see here. So there's the date, February 20th. So another video done on February 20th. And oh, look at all those tags. Just wow, Betty. Wow. So my first thought upon just reading the title is, Betty, why are you going live from a search area? Do you want that to be shown on your channel? I'd say you do. I'd say you do. I'd say you'd want to be that person who would have that on their channel, which is pretty sick if you think of it that way. Now, what if her parents were watching? Because you know what? I feel like if I was the parent of a missing child, I would want to know what was going on. I would be racking my brain and wanting to know what was going on. Would you want a parent to see that? I'm not even going to say that, what that is. Would you want a parent to see that live on your channel? The sad part is you probably would. And that to me is absolutely sick. Sickening. Actually, I can hear Betty now. No parent of a missing child should be on YouTube. They should be out searching.
Nice to see you. Nice to see everybody. everybody. It's nice to see everybody. I got to start setting up another so I can go live on the Bullhorn Betty. So just give me a little bit while I get everything set up, guys. But we're out here, we're watching. I don't know how good the quality is coming in for you guys, but the more I zoom in, the better the quality is going to be. That's about the max I can get on this, and as you can see, it's pretty stinking blurry. So
Yeah, the only thing blurry is that little part of your brain that helps with good decision making and thought process. And I think, there's a few other parts of your brain that may be messed up too. And that would be the empathy part. You know, the part where you actually care about what you're doing and care about the missing children. I think that's a little blurry as well, Betty. Blurry Betty.
I'm trying to give you guys, this is as close as we can get to the scene right now. There are law enforcement out there. They are working. I will tell you that law enforcement has done amazing work, guys. I know we don't have answers and have not found this little girl yet.
There's no we about it, Betty. You don't find answers. You don't find anything good. You do bad things and you interfere in an investigation. So yeah, there's no we about it. The only we is you and Olivia and whoever else is following you around, causing problems for this case and all the other cases. By the way, I was wondering, you had mentioned that you went to Texas for a whole other case, and then this popped up. So what made you choose to ignore the other case and go to Audrii's case? Was it because it was more popular? I also heard that you got 5 Amber Alerts while in Texas. Hey, maybe that's where Betty's gonna travel to while she rents her house out. Texas.
We don't have answers and have not found this little girl yet, but I will tell you that they've been everywhere. Everywhere we turn, they're searching someplace out here. It is quite impressive, I have to say.
Well, I'm glad that you're being kind and respectful to law enforcement for once. And Betty, you must have learned a lesson in Savannah. You know, when you were 100% wrong, saying they weren't doing their jobs and stuff, and they actually were. They were on top of it the whole time. Yet there you were screaming and wasting their time. Hopefully, you have learned from that. We all make mistakes, Betty.
Hey guys, what we're going to do is we've got to scout out some areas. We have a horrible vantage point here. This is kind of where media is set up, but we're going to see if we can, there's searches all over this county. So we're going to see if we can find something a little more, something that we can kind of garner some information. They're being too tight-lipped over here and I can't see what they're doing. And of course I'm nosy. So just stay tuned to this channel as well. We'll be running on both of the channels today as we prepare to watch law enforcement continue their search efforts in the the case of the missing 11-year-old girl here in Livingston, Texas.
Wow, Betty. As we prepare to just sit there and wait, watching a search scene for a missing child? Waiting for the money shot. What exactly are you hoping is going to happen? Oh, I know. That big moment. I'm not even going to say it. I think it's sickening that you're sitting there watching live for the whole world to see. No, I can't with this. Video after video of disgusting, vile coverage, Betty. I don't see any reputable people doing this. You are not reputable. You are a fake news, whatever the heck. I don't even know what to call you. You're a freaking tragedy pimp. Sitting there waiting for some camera shot. I can't describe it. I'm not going to say it. I hope everyone knows what I mean. I feel sick. You are a vulture. A piranha. You are the National Enquirer of tragedy pimps.
As we prepare to watch law enforcement continue their search efforts in the case of the missing 11-year-old girl here in Livingston, Texas.
By the name of Audrii Cunningham. I just want to remind everybody, law enforcement, and I just want to make this clear, I don't care who is on their social media accounts, we're out here. And if they're not out here, then they should not be saying what law enforcement is or is not doing. I've heard a lot of people say law enforcement is not doing enough. let me turn this camera around so everybody can see my face when I say this, that law enforcement is not doing enough. Let me tell you something. Every place I freaking go here, there's law enforcement in the woods. There's law enforcement under these bridges. There's law enforcement literally all over this county. So anybody that sits there and wants to dog law enforcement right now, you're wrong.
Well, I agree with you there, Betty. I do. But I don't understand why it was okay for you to do it in Savannah and in other places when you think they're not doing their job just because they're not showing you what they're doing, just because you can't see it. You've been that person. You've been the one to call out law enforcement. And it turns out they actually knew what they were doing. Shocker.
Okay? And I know that I'm upset that this man was in this girl's life, and I don't understand why. I know that the father's obviously had some issues in the past, but for me, looking into him, out of all the freaking cases I cover of real piece of shit parents, just garbage parents, like the Wells parents, that is not what I'm getting from this father.
All right, so I have no doubt that Betty has an ulterior motive here for why she is not calling out these parents. In any other case, she would be doing that. But just watch, just wait, it's coming. This is my opinion and why I think she is being nice to the parents and telling others to be nice to the parents. Again, ulterior motive. Let's watch.
Really is it? There's a time and a place to lay blame. And that's why I said yesterday, we really need to rein that in. I'm angry as well as everybody else. This is going to be worked out, but I can guarantee that father I just don't believe he knew what kind of monster he really brought into his house. Am I angry about it? I am very angry about it. But I had an opportunity to go out there and preview her neighborhood. I've looked into her father. I've done what I'm supposed to do out here.
What I'm supposed to be doing out here. Yeah, okay, Betty. No, Betty, you're supposed to be sitting on your ass at home because you're not a reporter. You're not a journalist. At least not in my opinion. You sell fake news and you make money off of exploiting missing children and their parents as well. And please do keep in mind these ulterior motives. I can almost guarantee she's going to turn on those parents as soon as they don't give her an interview. And if they do, she'll stick with them.
To see where these issues are coming from, right? And it's unfortunate because I don't know what the relationship is with this guy. There's such a major age difference from Joshua, aka Lucky, to this guy. Now, does this Lucky guy have some issues? I did see some things on the paperwork that I have, I prefer not getting into it because at this moment, to be honest with you, it has no relevance in this. The father had nothing to do with this. The family had nothing to do with this. It was this animal. It was this animal. And we need to stay focused on this animal. We need to stay focused on finding out any and all information and providing that stuff to law enforcement. You got videos, you know something, say something. That is our motto here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Silence is an answer too. I wear the shirt. I have it plastered. I have shirts made that say silence is an answer too. Bullhorn Betty, right? So...
Oh, God, I'm not going to be able to take this much longer, so we may have to skip through parts of this, but I'll have a listen to it and see if I can remove a bunch, because she just never shuts up. Shut up, Betty. Shut up.
Let's not be silent. If you know something, say something. If you have something, if you have videos, and more importantly, if something weird happened, something unusual, maybe it wasn't weird. Maybe it wasn't anything that perked your curiosity at that time, but just appeared unusual. Like you see a vehicle that you don't normally see, or you see a behavior that you don't normally see, or you see a person that you don't normally see. Nothing that's really alarming, just unusual. Call it in. Law enforcement needs that information. They need that information yesterday. So with that being said, we're going to pack up. We're going to regroup and try to find better places for us to be at so we can bring the content to you guys. But we need to we need to help law enforcement with this timeline. This timeline's important. This timeline.
Betty, law enforcement does not want your help. They want help from the locals who have camera footage, not from Bullhorn Betty, okay? So let's remember that. Stop saying we. You are not involved. You're only there because you're interfering.
Helps get this bad guy and keeps this bad guy away behind bars as long as possible, and that's what we want to do. So just bear with me, guys. We'll be back. So keep it here on the Bullhorn Betty channels because we're going to be running on this one as well. This Bullhorn Betty crime.
Betty, are you allowed on that other channel? I don't know. Maybe you are. I could be wrong. I just thought you had all those strikes and you weren't allowed. Remember when you wanted the FBI to get involved because you had all those strikes? Oh God, that's so funny. If anyone hasn't seen Burnt Toast's stream that she did about Betty and those emails, I'm gonna link it in the description. It was definitely hilarious. Now, I wouldn't normally laugh at somebody else's misfortune, but Betty has caused so much misfortune for so many other people. I couldn't help but laugh. It was actually very funny. Betty literally wanted her local police department to call the FBI because of YouTube haters. Yep, it's true. If you want to hear all those crazy emails that go back and forth, definitely hit up Burnt Toast channel and I'll put the link to that exact video in my description. All right, let's move on to the next video. And not surprising, Betty has all kinds of tags on her channel. There you go. And there you have them. The same tags that she puts in every video. And that's because she wants to draw attention from every single community to her channel. It is gross and vile, and I'm pretty sure it's against terms of service. But anyway, let's continue and watch the next video. And I love that I grabbed all those comments before they were deleted.
Guys, there is some major information that we have learned about this case, okay? This is breaking information that you may have heard about it, but it has been corroborated. Stephen McDougal tried to sell a set of barbell weights the day that Audrii went missing. I had an opportunity to review that image.
Oh, wow. So Betty and the entire internet had an opportunity to look at the image. Wow, Betty. Isn't that amazing? A bunch of claps for you. You and the whole internet. What a joke.
And a 25-pound barbell weight is missing. It's nice to see everybody. Good afternoon, good morning. I don't know what time it is. It is now officially afternoon, I think, for at least some parts of the United States.
Yeah, that's some great sound quality you have there. Real professional.
It's nice to see everybody here. We are covering the case of Audrii Cunningham, 11-year-old missing girl. And we are out here at location. There were why are we back out here? A few reasons. Because when we're boots on the ground, guess what? We don't get shit wrong.
Mick squeeze me? Like, are you kidding me? That's a wow for me. Just wow. Betty, you get everything wrong. All the time. But let's hear that again, just for fun.
Because when we're boots on the ground, guess what? We don't get shit wrong.
As soon as we leave and people start popping off with that stupid misinformation just to screw with everybody, guess what? I come back out here so everybody gets the right information out here and not screwed with by these animals, these assholes on these social media platforms. We say no to online bullying. We say no to interjecting into criminal investigations. Bullshit. Okay? Shame on everybody out there that was doing and spreading false misinformation about this case, intentionally thwarting the people trying to get the information out there to the public. Shame on you. I'm sick and tired of dealing with this from animals on YouTube.
Wait a second. This is a joke, right? She's not serious. Betty, the queen of misinformation for clickbait, is now calling out other people for misinformation. No, I can't. I cannot. This is a joke, right? Betty, you're a joke. If this is real, you're a joke.
And other social media platforms such as TikTok that intentionally do this shit for clicks and views. Okay? If you want to start talking about it, you want to speculate, tell the people you are speculating. Acting like it's true information because you've got it in your brain doesn't make it so. People don't always like Blowhorn Betty because I tell it like it is, and I'm telling everybody like it is. Stop with the BS.
I'm having a hard time taking this seriously. But, all right, let's get back into it. We have another clip here. Being serious. And we are going to definitely reset here because this is serious. This is where Betty wants to film a crime scene. that reminds me of someone else. I'm not even going to get into that, but yeah, I don't know. Filming crime scenes is just not my thing. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't even know what I think. I just think it's wrong. But let's get serious here. Let's move forward. Betty is literally filming a crime scene here, okay? Or at least what she says is a crime scene. I have no way to verify that. So let that sink in and we'll move forward. This is obviously a lot more recent that we're seeing here. I don't know the exact date off the top of my head, but here we have all the tags again, and yet another comment from someone who knows what they're talking about. All right, let's hear it. And my apologies for Betty's bad sound. She still, with all those donations, can't figure out how to get a proper mic that blocks out that really bad sound. Maybe she needs to ask her buddy, Dolly. Doesn't Dolly have those special wind mics? I don't know for sure, but he did mention it the other day. Betty, you have a lot of donations. You could probably get some better microphones or, ways to cut back on that really bad sound. I'm no expert, but I'm pretty sure it's possible. And you have a lot of donos because you're a tragedy pimp. All right, let's get to it.
Never gets to say goodbye to her daughter. So her father never gets to say goodbye to her again. So what I'm going to ask everybody is to please, please, please keep judgment at bay for at least the next 72 hours while the family grieves the loss of their daughter, a very young daughter, at the hands of a monster. And I also ask that you guys just keep them in your thoughts and prayers, please. Keep them in your thoughts and prayers.
Okay, so maybe I'm being harsh, maybe I'm an asshole, but it is my opinion that Betty is really still trying to get these interviews with the parents, with Audrii's parents. She wants these interviews so bad that she is really, really stopping herself from bashing them online. Like, she's really stopping herself. She wants to, but she can't because she needs those interviews. Bashing the family, that definitely brings views. But an interview with the family, which I don't know, I don't think I've seen that yet. That would really bring the views. So Betty is really, really grinding her nails on the couch. Ooh, I want to bash this family. That's what I do. I bash families. I'm going to refrain because I know that if I get this interview with the family, that will bring me views. So I'm going to try to promote this family as long as I can. As long as I can. Even though I want to bash them. Betty, that makes you fake AF.
So this is just a horrible situation. I don't know what else to say other than that. I just want to thank social media for their part in helping in this case. A lot of people don't realize that social media does help. It's why we do what we do. It generates leads, period. It generates leads. And the more people we can get these cases out to, the more leads that are generated in a case. And so everything worked as it should. Everybody worked together that was out here. Mainstream media, law enforcement, social media, alternative media. We all had a hand in getting this little girl's name out there. And everybody here was as professional could be. Media was professional, social media was professional.
Well, you, Betty, you're the only one I've seen that was not professional. I'm sure TikTok is full of people that said inappropriate things. But you know what? I covered tragedy pimps on YouTube. And you, Betty, you were the one that came up as being not professional because you lied multiple times. You used clickbait. So therefore, you did not help in this case. Just saying.
The only thing I can say is the infiltration of garbage, people that intentionally send out information to get people to talk. That's disgusting to me. This is a little 11-year-old girl, and anybody that does that kind of stuff is a monster. In true fashion, as much of a monster as the person committing the crime, because you are actually taking away from the case and utilizing resources that could go for good instead of bad. job. They're manipulating images and stuff like that. I think it's absolutely disgusting. And you guys are no more of, you guys are just as much of a monster as the people committing these crimes. And I'm going to stand on that with all of my champ. Anybody that engages in that, you're a monster. Because this is an 11-year-old girl that doesn't get to come home to her family, doesn't get to see her friends. This girl, the frustration and anger in me right now with some people is almost overwhelming, because this is so emotional for me. This is an 11-year-old girl that was well taken care of, lived in a beautiful community. You know, whatever is going on with the parents, it still seemed like she was very much loved by her mom, by her dad, by everybody. I don't know where this guy came from. I don't know how he knew this family. I don't know why this family would let him live with her anywhere on that property. He's a disgusting pig, and that angers me. But do you think that they honestly believe that this would have happened to them or their family? No, I don't believe they did. I don't believe they would knowingly. I went through a lot of stuff, and I don't honestly think that the father knowingly would put his daughter in jeopardy. I'm sorry, I just don't. That's my mom with the parents. It still seemed like she was very much loved by her mom, by her dad, by everybody. I don't know where this guy came from. I don't know how he knew this family. I don't know why.
All right, so let me just remind you how full of shit Betty is, because just a few, I don't know, hours, maybe a day later, she comes on and speaks negatively about the father. And this is because, in my opinion, at this moment, when she was just talking, she still wanted that interview with the father. But she was so loved and safe. All the things. Yeah, bullshit, Betty. You wanted the interview. I don't think you got it. And then we will see the outcome in just a few. Again, these are just my thoughts, but let's find out. I'm just saying, this woman is full of garbage. That is what spews out of Betty's mouth. Garbage! Okay, so we may have to do a part 2 because the app that I'm using is getting all funky. It just, I don't know, it stops working after you do about 30 minutes. So there's a lot more footage I have, a lot more clicks, views, whatever Betty wants to call them. I'm just saying I have a lot more to show. I'm going to do a part 2. Let's stop it here, and then we'll, again, reconvene for part 2. As I said, I do have a lot more footage, especially some footage of when she returns home. I also have some airport footage. And yeah, as soon as she returns home, she's got no problem bashing the father, at least, so far. I haven't heard her bash the mother yet, but I also haven't gone through everything. Anyway, she wasted no time. I assume she wasn't going to get that interview, and so she felt it's safe to start bashing. But anyway, let's go out by reading one of Betty's beautiful community posts. And then, even more beautiful, the comment section below it. How fun. So we'll go out with that. I'll see you soon for part 2. Thank you so much for being here. And I just wanted to send out all kinds of love and prayers for Audrii's family. And I will put some pictures of Audrii at the end as well. Thank you all for being here. Rest in peace, beautiful girl. Fly high, Audrii.